Welcome back to the Buyer Series with the Crawford Lorenzo home selling team. I am John Hadorovich. I have with me Bob Schneider, otherwise known as Bob the Broker from Silex Financial Group. And this week, we are talking about the pre-approval process, the mortgage process. Now, Bob, a lot of times people think that it is their first step in the real estate process is a real estate agent, which is possible, but really the first step is getting the pre-approval, right? So talk to us how important that is.
Well, first let me say thanks for having me here, John. Look, I tell clients all the time, you should start the pre-approval process 6 months to a year before you even think about buying a house.
Wait, that soon?
Yes.
Why?
Yes.
Why that soon? Because obviously people's income changes, things change
Sure.
financially. So why so far out?
Because we can plan ahead. So if there's any credit issues, we can start fixing them. Even if you have good credit, we want to make you great credit. So that gives us 6 months to a year to do that.
Okay.
It gives us 6 months to a year to work on a down payment. That gives us 6 months to a year to strategize what your buying power is going to be and what your comfort level. So we can just fix everything up and be ready. So you're ready to hit the ground running when the time comes.
Yeah, and from the real estate agent side, you want to get pre-approval first, so you don't go start looking at houses before you know how much you can afford.
Yes. So look, there's nothing worse than somebody who's been out with an agent to see 20, 30 homes. And then I get a call to pre-approve them, and I have to call the agent to say, sorry, this person can't buy a house.
Yeah, that's heartbreaking for everyone involved, right? Whether it's like, okay, oh my God, I just saw this house. We just fell in love with this house. Can we put an offer in? Yes. Can you afford it? And that can be a scary thing because you may not know, and all of a sudden you just lost the house of your dreams, and all of a sudden your real estate process is just shattered on day one. And we don't want that. That's not why we do this.
No, you said something very important there. You may not be able to afford it. Look, I may be able to pre-approve somebody for $1 million home, but what they can afford is $500,000. So you want to know before you look at these big, beautiful homes and fall in love with something, what you can truly afford. It's a house. We want you to be able to have a life when you get into this house. We don't want a phone call a year later saying, I got to sell because I can't afford it.
We don't want you to be house poor.
Yes,
essentially
exactly.
is what that is. And for real estate agents, there's a thing called wheel estate, where that's an old school phrase where agents would, put a potential buyer into the car, drive them around the neighborhood until they see a house that they like, and you put an offer in, which essentially could lead to that heartbreak. And we don't want to practice wheel estate. We practice real estate, and the buffer, the difference between the two is you.
Yes.
To get that pre-approval.
So what I like to do first is I like to run the numbers, and I'm going to give you two numbers. I'm going to give you the max pre-approval, and then I'm going to back you into a number that you really can afford. And we're going to talk about it. And then you're going to be prepared to go look at houses, especially in this market. You're not only going to be prepared to look at houses, but then you're going to be prepared to make an offer when you see something you really love.
Okay. Now, obviously, a pre-approval is fantastic, but it really the mortgage commitment is the paperwork that says this is truly what they can afford. Now, a pre-approval letter, while it means something, it doesn't mean everything, right?
Well, sure. I mean, eventually you still have to submit to a lender and get a mortgage commitment. But the first step really is a pre-approval, and a good pre-approval, not something that you get online where you just put the information. It's where somebody in the business, a banker, a broker, somebody who does mortgages actually vets out your pay stubs, your assets, your W-2s, your credit report, and then comes up with a pre-approval number.
So this is a true deep dive into your financial situation. Can be scary for some people, I understand that, but you'll never know until you talk to the pros. So talk to Bob over at Silex Financial, Bob the Broker, as he is affectionately called. So talk to us some about your programs over at Silex Financial, especially for the first-time home buyers, because this is huge.
Yeah, there's a lot of there are a lot of programs out there for first-time home buyers. Some of them I say are just marketing. Hey, we do programs for first-time home buyers. Come see us. Some of them have income caps, so anything up to a median income of the county, you qualify if you're a first-time home buyer for special credits. And some banks often have just special programs where maybe you get 10% down. We have a program right now, 10% down, no PMI for first-time home buyers. It's a great deal.
That's PMI is huge for a lot of people because that could mean the difference between a couple $100 and not. So that is really, really great.
I'm doing a program right now. It's for people who live in certain census tracts that are first-time home buyers.
Okay.
My client is getting a $7,500 credit because he's a first-time home buyer. It's a $7,500 credit towards his down payment and or closing costs.
Wow.
He's getting $500 back towards his appraisal.
Okay.
And no, what we call no LLPAs, meaning you're going to get a better rate. It's a great deal.
So obviously the market it's a seller's market right now. That means the sellers kind of hold most of the cards. We have seen a little bit of our buyers kind of biting back a little bit. Are you still seeing people waiving appraisals?
I am seeing people waive appraisals. What I am telling my clients is it's all right. It's not my favorite thing to waive appraisal, but if you want to have a stronger offer, it sometimes is something you have to do, right? Yes. So limit it. Make sure it's within your budget. Run the numbers. If you say you can't afford to waive the entire thing, waive 10,000 or 15,000 of it. That way, it won't break your bank. Okay,
and that kind of leads me into the next question or not really a question, but appraisal gap. So let's just say your offer is $450, and the house only appraises for $440.
Right.
You can say, okay, we're going to cover that $10K and be good, and still get that house. Now, if it underappraises a little bit lower than that, then you're going to have a conversation, right?
Right. But that's exactly it. So you're staying within their budget.
Okay, which is huge. And we have to talk about a very important word, which is affordability, I think now, especially in the market.
Well, I think that's the key to a pre-approval is, look, we know rates are high.
Yeah.
All right? I hate to say don't worry about the rate, but don't worry about the rate. Worry about the payment. All right? Are you comfortable with this payment? That's really what's important. You're buying a house. You want to buy a house. You don't want to rent anymore. Are you comfortable with the payment? And that is exactly how I'm coaching all my clients.
So a mortgage payment consists of four things, right? It's your principal, your interest, your taxes, and your insurance. PIMI or PITI.
Yeah, you could be a mortgage person. You want a job?
But that is your four things that consist of a mortgage payment. So if you are comfortable within that payment, then you can afford the most important asset you will ever own, which is real estate.
Yeah, look, and rates go down, you can refinance. If they don't, then you know you can still afford the house forever.
Yeah, and we're still all eyes have been on the Fed within the last month. They had that conversation of, no, should we, shouldn't we? And they're getting to their 2% target, which is nice. So they said, okay, no, we're going to talk again in September.
Yes.
Okay. I know you don't have a crystal ball. No one does. But are we getting closer to that, to where they're going, okay, now we're going to start to lower this?
I think we are getting closer to it. I don't know if it's going to be September or not, and what I've heard is if it's not September, because of elections, they're going to wait till the end of the year. I don't know.
Yeah, no one's got the crystal ball.
Right. But I think we're getting closer, and we may not see much lower rates this year, but sometime mid to end of next year, we'll start to see some relief on the mortgage rates, is my feeling.
Fantastic. Okay, so that's...
Well, don't hold me to that. All right?
We're not going to predict what the Fed does. There's no possible way we can do that. So, there's so much we can cover within this time span. Is there any more programs that Silex and Bob the Broker are covering for their customers now? What's out now that our buyers should be looking for?
We're seeing a lot of programs for investment people, a lot of what we call debt service loans for investors. I'm doing some fix and flip loans for people who are, there's not a lot out there for the flippers, but when they find something, they want to be able to finance it quickly. We're seeing some of that. The investors are always out looking for something, right? Okay. They're always trying to find something. So we have quite a range of products. That's why I like being a broker. I like working in a small shop like Silex Financial. Okay. We have good relationships with everything from small lenders to big lenders that have different types of products. It's great.
Now, we've seen the interest rate now, I think the low sevens is where we're at now, 7.1. And we've done the math here at Keller Williams Metropolitan. So we're thinking that really the market is going to open up when people hit high fives. that's when people are really going to want to really start looking again.
Right. That's the big question. Right. So what I've been telling my clients is first, why wait till rates go down to look? Because if you wait till then, your competition is just going to be greater. All the people that are on the sideline are waiting. They're all going to flood into the market. And instead of having 5, 10, 15 offers, there's going to be more offers. So why not look now? Because look, again, if rates do go down and you already own the home, first of all, you could refinance. But second of all those people that are out there looking, you're not in that competition. And the value of your house that you bought 6 months earlier is going to start jumping. So why wait?
Yeah, there's a lot of perks and benefits to being a homeowner, to being a real estate owner. You're building equity within that, and then you have the appreciation on top of that. So there's a lot to do when you're looking for a home, and a lot to think about when you're doing that. For those that read Rich Dad, Poor Dad, like I did, income buys the assets that then pay for the car, the vacation. So really, the safest way to build wealth is still real estate.
Yeah, especially in these areas in New Jersey that we're in.
Yeah.
Forget it. Even in 2008, the values didn't really drop. It might have stayed steady, where the rest of the country values dropped in 2008. Here, they just stayed flat for a couple of years and then grew right back up again. So I think it's a great investment, especially areas like New Jersey. What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. We have seen, I've recently had something, nearly a dozen offers on a single property. So and that means we only have to choose one, right?
Yeah.
That means that all those other people that put offers in still want to move into that neighborhood. So there's a lot of people still looking to buy a home. It's just we as real estate agents and lenders have to make sure you guys understand what you're looking at, what you're dealing with, and to really ease your concerns, because there's a lot out there that's trying to scare you. That's not what we want to do. We want to make sure you're educated. That's why we do here at Crawford Lorenzo Home Selling Team these buyer seminars and these sell seminars, to bringing in pros like Bob Schneider over here at Silex Financial Group. So
let me say one other thing, John. One of the things I'm telling clients, and you tell me if you agree with this, is if you start sooner than you need to, you don't have to go out every single weekend looking at homes. And therefore, you can take your time. And in this market, it may take some time. So you won't be as frustrated looking for homes. You'll feel better about it. It'll still be fun. It'll still be entertaining. What do you think? I mean, is that?
Yeah, it's the sooner the better, especially now, because you never know where life is going to take you, right? So on average, it will take anyone 8 to 12 weeks to find the home that they want to actually purchase. So that's about 3 months. That's on average. It could take shorter. You can walk into a house and all of a sudden sight on, see, and buy it, or it could take you a little bit longer. It just depends on what you're looking for. But I will say, whether it's this market or the next, be reasonable. I think that's what a lot of people are missing now. Especially, I understand buyers are kind of biting back a little bit on a few things, and they should. But be reasonable.
Yeah, and know you might not get everything on your list.
Yes, exactly. Right. So thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you so much for joining us. Questions, comments, concerns, please put them in the comment section below. For the Crawford Lorenzo Home Selling Team, we have 12, 13 agents on our team. Peter Lorenzo, Chris Baggio, our team leadership. We have an amazing supporting cast. Diana Peck, our listing coordinator. Danica, our transaction coordinator. She's the one who helps us really organize all the paperwork. We have a great marketing team with Kathy Coughlin, and so much more with 12 or 13 other agents. So if you have any questions for us at the Crawford Lorenzo Home Selling Team here at Keller Williams Metropolitan, please just give us a phone call. 973-615-1567 is the cell phone number over here at the Crawford Lorenzo Home Selling Team. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we will actually see you next time on the Seller Seminar. Bob, the broker, Bob Schneider, Silex Financial. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you next
Thanks
time.
for having me. Thank
No
you.
problem.
Appreciate it. Thank you.